talent is luck. It's the strength and perseverance and persistence that gives you success. I think Farhan Akhtar is the epitome of this adage, this saying.
Thank
And
you so much,
Farhan,
Atika. That's very kind of you.
you know, Farhan, I was going through your filmography. Let me start with your filmography. I will take 30 seconds, and
Right.
everybody listening to this must very carefully listen to this, what I'm saying. In 2001, he started his career, I mean, officially, with Dil Chahta Hai, जिसके ये प्रोड्यूसर भी थे, डायरेक्टर भी थे और इसके राइटर भी थे. Then came Lakshya, Pride and Prejudice, Dawn, Honeymoon Travels, Positive, Rock On, Luck by Chance, Karthik Calling Karthik, Game, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, Dawn 2, Talash, Fukre, भाग मिल्खा भाग, शादी के साइड इफेक्ट्स, दिल धड़कने दो, बैंगिस्तान, वजीर, बार बार देखो, रॉक ऑन 2, रईस, डैडी, लखनऊ सेंट्रल, फुकरे रिटर्न्स, भारत एने नेनू, गोल्ड, केजीएफ जिसके डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर थे, गली बॉय, फकीर ऑफ वेनिस, स्काई इज पिंक, तूफान एंड मिस मार्वल. जिस उम्र में आपके साथ के लोग फाख्ते उड़ा रहे थे, you were so serious about life. Why so?
I honestly meet firstly, hi, how are you doing?
Hello Farhan, I'm good. How are you?
Good. That's good to know. I really wish that you would have met my parents 20 years ago and told them that don't worry, everything is going to be all right. You know, because the time when you're asking me, जब लोग जब जिंदगी के मजे लूट रहे थे और अलग अलग चीजें कर रहे थे तो मैं बहुत सीरियस था. ऐसा बिल्कुल कोई मामला नहीं है. I got serious pretty much with my first film. Is kind of what happened. 2000, the year 2000 in which Dil Chahta Hai was made, was a very was a big year in my personal life and in my professional life, because I had my first daughter and I started working on my first film. So both, I think, force you to change in some kind of way. You know, you feel like now you've evolved into the next phase of your life. And yeah, so then I just, from there, things have been the way you've just read out, basically.
कौन कहता है that you're a father of a 20-year-old girl?
Yeah,
Look at
yes,
you.
I am.
Wow. But 50s is the new 40s, 40s is the new 30s, and 30s is the new 20s.
Yeah, you know, my father says, he's like, old age is always 10 years ahead of you. Whatever age you're at, when you turn 30, you're like, yaar, 40 is damn old. When you reach 40, you're like, yaar, 50 is damn old. But which is true, you know. But I know, I honestly, I think I feel the fittest that I've ever felt in my life today.
Yeah.
And yeah, the most like enthusiastic about things that I have been for a long, long time.
That's true. But you know, your father is a magician with words, and sometimes you can really, Hindi mein ek word hota hai, chop kar dete hain. So I was in a conversation with him. There was like 5,000 लोगों की ऑडियंस थी लाइव इन दिल्ली, और मैंने उनका लंबा चौड़ा तवील इंट्रोडक्शन दिया सोच के कि बहुत खुश होंगे. तो जावेद साहब बोले, भाई ख्वातीनो हजरात, मुझे आपका तो पता नहीं, लेकिन इनका ये तारुफ अपने बारे में सुन के मैं तो अपने आप को सुनने को बेकरार हूँ. So Farhan, tell me, so we often talk about your family, you know, कभी कभी बड़ी हसद से, बड़ी जलन के साथ, और कभी कभी बड़े ही प्रेज और खुले लफ्जों में तारीफ के साथ. But then one thing everybody says about you, says, yeah, look at the gene pool, it's in their genes. बहन भी टैलेंटेड है, भाई भी टैलेंटेड है, माँ एकदम चोटी की राइटर थी. मुझे शिकायत है लोगों से कि उनकी जरा बात कम करते हैं लोग, but I think the prolific, consistent,
absolutely
huge body of work and a very good writer. I think आपको वहां से भी आया है. And then this nature in you, in both you and your sister, कि यार मुझे मेरा मेहनताना चाहिए. You know, जावेद साहब की बात मुझे बड़ी अच्छी लगती है कि वो अपने आप को अंडरप्ले कभी नहीं करते हैं. आर्टिस्ट के लिए कहते हैं, राइटर्स के लिए कहते हैं, बिंदास अपना हक मांगो. उनका और सलीम साहब का सबसे बड़ा एक उन्होंने कहा था कि 2 लाख मैंने बोला था और मुझे मिला. So you know, this deservance, where do you put yourself on a scale of deservance, is a very important thing, how you will succeed in life.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that scale can only be possible, and you can only put yourself somewhere on that scale if you are willing to work hard. You know, to put yourself on some scale, but not back it up with hard work, and with some amount of focus. there's no point. That the scale of deserving, and everybody has a scale. You know, सबको लगता है life में कि यार ये मेरे पास होता, I'm deserving of this. But you have to work for it. There's no option but working hard. There isn't.
Okay, I was in conversation with Akshay a couple of days ago. Akshay Khanna. आपने हिमालय, is it true कि उनकी फिल्म हिमालय पुत्र जो उनकी डेब्यू फिल्म थी,
yeah, I was an assistant director. हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. वही मेरी मुलाकात हुई उनसे. और तब मतलब I got to know him on that film. और उन्होंने मुझसे कहा कि कर क्या रहे हो? I'm like यार मैं I want to direct. You know, so he said whenever your script is ready, you come and meet me. I would love to hear it. So I said okay, wonderful. And I went and met him like some, I don't know, 5 years later or something. He didn't forget that he had said he'd hear it, and he did it. Yeah, that's amazing. He's a great guy, really.
So again, I say, I come back to the same line, the talent is luck, but it's your own perseverance. I mean, you wanted to do something and that's what you stuck to. And now that you're here. Tell me, Farhan, आपकी फिल्म के तूफान के बारे में बात करती हूँ. You are an actor also in that film.
Yeah.
You have made that film too. And it's I could see that there is a lot in that film. There is love story, there is thrill, it's a sports drama, it's a aspirational story. गरीब बच्चों को भी दिखाई जा सकती है, अमीर बच्चों को भी दिखाई जा सकती है, 60-year-old भी देख सकता है. Now coming from your family, I know that you also treat cinema as an instrument of change. You know, it's never flip-flap for you. कि कुछ भी बनाया fast food content और निकल गए पैसे कमा के. What was the purpose of making Tufan?
You know, I think now that you've seen the film, I think it was talking about how the importance of understanding, the importance of love, the importance of giving somebody a chance, you know, without prejudice, without any preconceived notion of what kind of person he or she will be, just because they belong to a certain category of or a community or a social demographic, you know. So it spoke about all these things. I feel in today's time, and this has been for a while, and I think that social media has a huge role to play in this. That people in general are very quick to form an opinion about a person based on one sentence, based on one act that they may have done, and without the thought that everybody makes mistakes. Everybody gets something wrong. Everybody has done something that they may end up regretting later, you know, but the world refuses to forgive you. They just don't. We've become such a people, and this is not just an India phenomenon. This is a global phenomenon for most of it. You know, that we form an opinion about a person, and it's like moving heaven and earth to try and change someone's opinion about something, you know, to kind of get them to see another side of it. So there were many of these things that were going on in my head at the time when I thought of this story. And of course, I wanted to kind of use the backdrop of what we have predominantly here, you know, which more often than not is something we read in the newspaper or we see a lot of, you know, is again just the community-based bias. You know, that's such a major thing on social media here, in mainstream media reporting here. You know, like pushing certain narratives which are preconceived narratives, which is not based on any individual. The character of an individual is just based on an opinion of an entire lot of people. You know, so it really was wanting to tap into all of that, and in somehow, of course, without it being preachy, using sport as a background, because sport rises above everything. You know, so you could use that metaphor of sport, and you could use sport to get somebody to understand and see something in a certain way. Because when you're watching India play, you don't care who you're sitting next to and watching it. You know, it doesn't matter who the bowler is, where he's come from, what nationality, I mean, what caste or community or race or religion he is. It makes no difference to you. You are united in that. So why can't it be the same? You know, in real life. And that really is what it was about.
But that's true. It's high time we actually get rid of our surnames also, because people associate things, ideas with surnames. And I think that our journeys are. मतलब we are a sum total of our
Right.
education, experiences,
Yeah.
travel, books we read, friends we have. But
Yeah.
it's बहुत ही मतलब कुछ बात
No,
है.
and it is important to rise above differences. That's what it is basically.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no two people are going to be alike. Even
Yeah.
if they've been to the same school, they've had the same education, they live in the same building, they worship
Yeah.
the same God, they eat the same food, they will
Yeah.
still be different people.
Yeah.
They will still not be thinking exactly the same.
Yeah.
If those people are not the same, how can people who you don't know be the same in your imagination? How can it be? You know,
Yeah. Yeah. So
you
there
have
was
to rise
this
above.
one movie in which there was a scene where a person asked a girl कि चलिए आपको बिरयानी खिला के लेकर आते हैं. Her name was Fauzi or something. तो बोली मैं बिरयानी नहीं खाती. बोला आप बिरयानी नहीं खाती? बोला हाँ, हर सचिन तेंदुलकर नहीं होता. Similar thing
Right.
happened with me, and because you talk about these biases, similar thing happened with me. I was on a restaurant. Somebody says you must try bheja fry. I said I don't eat bheja fry. Well, I love bheja fry. How can you not like bheja fry? I said,
Yeah.
I'm more of a salad and soup person.
Hmm.
I said you are more like a South Bombay person to me person. Not so get rid of these biases and watch less of TV. Watch less of TV. Read more of books.
Yeah, you should. I mean, see, books you should read regardless of how much TV you watch.
Yeah.
It is important to read books, but I mean, you have to now you have to be aware,
Yeah.
you know, of what you're watching is not always entirely true. You
Okay.
have to be aware of that. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, if a film has to have a disclaimer before it saying that, you know, the characters are fictitious and everything is being dramatized, I think many channels need to have that now that are putting it out, you know, because it's true. And the fact
It's
is
true.
that the human being in general, again,
Yeah.
is not somebody who goes out of his or her way to
Hmm.
do research for things that they feel are not affecting them directly,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so they just believe what they hear. And
What's
if
that
that's pushed,
university?
absolutely, and if it's pushed over and over and over again,
It becomes the truth.
it becomes the truth.
The lie becomes the truth.
Yeah.
Farhan, I am myself a fan of Muhammad Ali. I had a big poster when I was growing up. I wrote it with my own hands. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I
Yeah.
had this poster where he says, prepare for the best, expect the best, but be prepared for the worst.
Hmm.
Now, India में मोहम्मद अली उतना समझा नहीं गया है. I mean, as much as Bruce Lee, as much as Jackie Chan. But I think the story of Muhammad Ali and the story of Aziz Ali, Ajju Bhai, is alike. And we need to put these stories on screen because India में ही तो सबसे एशिया का सबसे बड़ा स्लम इंडिया में जितनी सक्सेस स्टोरी गरीबी से अमीरी तक की इंडिया से आती हैं कहाँ आती है? The blacks all over the world was the persecuted communities, uneducated communities that brought out the biggest heroes. And your story was based on that. Was that narrative on purpose?
Well, you know, the thing is, it's not, I mean, I'm a huge admirer of Muhammad Ali inside the ring and outside the ring. You know, he represented more than just the sport to people.
Ethics also, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of his values, they were amazing, you know, but
he refused to go and fight in the Vietnam War because he was against war.
Absolutely. And he was proved to be right, that he has the right to make that decision. Even though he lost they took his belt away, that he was banned from boxing for 3 years, you know, all that stuff that happened to him. But the thing is that there is one common thread between all boxers, be they in the US, be they in Europe, be they in South America, be they in Cuba, be they in India, you know, that they tend to come from marginalized backgrounds. They tend to come from backgrounds where they are not, where education, you know, where the wealth of that country has not reached.
Right.
Be it financial wealth, educative wealth, health wealth, it's not reached them. It's not filtered down to them.
Yeah.
So they are always in a position and they are always fighting for a better life because they've not been given it. You know, so for that, most of these stories, be it Muhammad Ali, be it Joe Frazier, be it Manny Pacquiao, you know, all these stories, they all have very similar starts. Mike Tyson, you know, Mike Tyson was in a boys' home. He was in a juvenile jail.
Yeah.
You know, so all of them come from these places. That is one thing that's common between them. So they are fighting for something, an identity. They're fighting for their country to recognize them as we exist.
Yes.
You know, and to give a better life to the place that they've come from, because a lot of them give back to the area that they grew up in and to the people that they represent. And the second thing that is common in all the people that we've heard of the world over is that all of them were fortunate enough and were lucky enough to have met the right person who believed that they had the skill to go on.
Yes.
That is such an important thing.
The coach.
You know, the mentor, the coach, the guide, whatever you want, the father figure, so to speak. You know, to have that person, because everyone has some latent talent here. Everyone does in something or the other. But if you find the person who can get that out of you and in a positive way channelize it, I mean, that you're very lucky if that happens.
Yeah, so उसपे एक शेर था कि जिसको बेदार न कर पाई किसी की ठोकर, एक फनकार के हाथों से वो पत्थर जागा.
वाह, क्या बात है.
So somebody could just be a stone, you know, जमीन पे पड़ा हुआ. एक फनकार के हाथों से उसको तराश दो तो फिर वही चाहे तो भगवान बन जाता है, चाहे तो कुछ बन जाता है. There was another topic in your film जो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगा, because I thought you addressed it very bravely, and that was interreligious marriages. I don't like to take that word given by some people, because the more you send out a word in the universe, it becomes
sure, I understand.
और अगर ये interreligious marriages को discourage करें, उसका मतलब ये है कि the girl doesn't know how to take decisions of her.
Yeah, of course.
Isn't
no,
it?
there's definitely some misogyny and some patriarchy in it, for sure. And the very obvious phobias that come about community with it, you know. But the thing is, more importantly, I mean, of course, it's been shown in the film, but on a general everyday level, I think we have to start accepting and understanding that people, when they've grown up and when they are mature, know what is best for them. It's just as simple as that. They know what is best for them. And coming back to what we were discussing earlier, even if somebody made a decision to marry outside their community or marry outside their caste or marry outside their whatever it may be, and it didn't work out, right? Will that become the example for how all those marriages are? No.
Right.
Because if two people are married within the same caste or within the same community and they separate, what does that say? That nobody should marry within their own community or their own caste?
Correct.
What does it mean? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So the fact is that every person has their own journey. Every person will make their own decisions. People will make mistakes even within that. They learn from their mistakes, as you do with anything. You know, if somebody does make a bad choice, they learn. But the fact is that it is imperative that adults be allowed to choose for themselves. It's just that simple, you know, without getting too complicated about it. I mean, how can you tell me that I can go and decide who I should vote for? You can tell me that I can, you know, do anything that I want. I can drive this car. I can do anything that I want. I can fly a plane. But I can't choose my own life partner, because then I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that just doesn't make sense to me.
But I think, Farhan, the word community is also a very, very vague word, because you can't make a community on the basis of a community. Because, for example, हमारे घर के बड़े कहते हैं दुनिया में सिर्फ 2 communities हैं बेटा, एक पढ़े लिखे एक जाहिल. इसके अलावा कोई community नहीं है. You go to the Middle East, there people are behaving differently. You come to India, Pakistan, people are behaving differently. Americans behave so if there were communities, they would be based on the regional preferences as opposed to religious preferences or any other preference. Right?
Yeah, sure.
No,
of course, the word is very flexible and it can be used in many different contexts.
Yeah,
it absolutely can. I'm talking about in the context of the film.
Yeah,
the way when you mentioned to me that what's happened in the film, I'm using it in context of the film.
Yeah,
and for me, the thing is that I mean, the question mark to me always is that why is it okay for somebody else to decide how I should live my life?
Right.
Why is it okay? I mean, there is, I mean, it is there. Free will is an important part of everyone's life.
Yeah.
You know, and absolutely, you have to live the life that you choose for yourself. And if you are not given that freedom to, somebody actually is impinging on your freedom. So that's the person who actually is answerable. You're not answerable.
How were you raised as a young boy by your mother? Did she teach you all these things, or you taught them on your way?
No, I mean, this is what you saw around you here. You know, I mean, nobody teaches you this. I mean, you see it around you. And I mean, with whatever education you have and from whatever understanding you have of the world, and it's just, I mean, you celebrate everyone and you celebrate everything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how it was. I mean, there was, like, if we break it down to like every single festival was celebrated in the house. You went to school with people. You didn't even ask them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It's beneath our
like,
dignity to ask them all these
no,
things,
it's,
isn't
I
it?
mean, it's not even a question of beneath your dignity. It just never was a thing.
Yeah.
You never thought about it. You know what I mean? Like, who are you
Yeah.
sitting with in your school bus, or who? You just don't think about these things. What does your father do? I mean,
Yeah.
like, did that question ever come up in your mind, that what does this my friend's father do, you know, or their mother do? You never thought about these things, you know,
True.
and they've
True.
become so all pervasive now
Hmm.
in life. And I
Yeah.
really feel that has become because opinions have are so easily transferable now and transmittable, you know,
Yeah.
over the internet, and
Yeah.
everyone's on the internet. So I mean, there is a certain I don't know, there is some thought that needs to be paid
Hmm.
on and which is happening now. If you think about what happened in the UK just recently, you know, after the Euro final, with what happened with those three football players and the
Yeah.
kind of abuse that they received.
Yeah.
You're hiding behind this like shroud, you know, of
Yeah.
anonymity, and
Yeah.
saying whatever you want, just regardless of the
Yeah.
mental health impact that you're having on someone.
Correct.
And we are going to see more people getting depressed. More young people are depressed today than they've ever been before, and a
Absolutely.
lot of it has to do with this kind of insane input that's
Yes.
constantly going into your brain.
Yeah. That social media is a double-edged sword. There's no
Oh,
doubt about
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, it is
Double-edged sword.
absolutely, yes.
Farhan, tell me, so you're an actor, a producer, a director, a writer, singer, and a voracious consumer of life. If I look at your Instagram, मुझे FOMO हो जाता है. Fear of missing out.
Really.
You're doing so many things. And I also like to do a lot of things. I'm a biker. I like to sing. I like to salsa dance. I like to do this,
Right.
that, everything. And sometimes people think, वो तो सब ठीक है, but main क्या है आपका? Main focus क्या है? तो मैं कहती हूँ मेन कुछ भी नहीं है, सब कुछ मेन है, you know, it's a package, you know, you can do this,
Correct.
this, all three, all five.
Yeah.
So somebody said to me, probably Anubhav Sinha said to me, एक होता है अपना version about yourself और एक होता है दूसरे का version about ourselves. और
Yeah,
इस industry में दूसरे का version हमारे बारे में क्या है, वो बहुत matter करता है.
Yeah.
What has been your experience?
I completely agree. But you know, the thing is that how can a person be defined only by the work that they do? That also is not defining you. Because at the end of the day, you're also a father, you're also a son, you're also friends with somebody. You know what I mean? There's so many other things that you are.
Yeah.
And that doesn't come into play at all when they decide you know, which one do you like best. You know, you know what I'm saying? There is a lot that makes you you.
Yeah.
And all of it is a part of you. I mean, I don't think that you wouldn't be you if you didn't do all the things that you do.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that your life experiences, be they in salsa dancing or be they in biking, have created your opinion and formed your view of the world.
Yeah.
Your view of the world. And that's who you are. So I mean, people, I mean, apart from the work that you do, of course, when they like it and when they appreciate it, you feel grateful. But the fact is that it's nice if you can look beyond that or look through it on some level, you know, and recognize, if you can in some way, what this person represents. You know, that's important to me.
When a person is deeply fulfilled within, when he's happy, and especially when he's in love, what effect does it have on him being an artist, a creator?
Wow, that's a very interesting question. I mean, there are moments, of course, where, I mean, this, you know, I guess this cup that you carry inside you, in your soul, can be very filled, you know, with love, with joy, with happiness. But at the same time, you should enjoy that. I don't feel that it's something to worry about, that is going to affect my inspiration or it'll affect my drive. I think you should just enjoy it while it happens.
It's a positive thing. It's a great thing.
Absolutely. No, but the thing is, you know, but I must tell you, like when I write, and I'm not talking about writing in film, because that you're working within a certain guidelines of stories and character and stuff. But when I'm writing for, like, just for my personal self, like whether it's writing poetry or it's writing song, it is somehow you feel more compelled, and at least I do, you know, more compelled, and somehow find it more accessible to express myself when I'm actually not in a good place. You know, I feel that maybe is the cathartic thing that's needed to get done to get it out.
Nice.
You know, and when you're feeling good about life and you're feeling happy, you're just enjoying yourself, then you don't feel like now need to sit down and write something shairana. You know what I mean? You don't feel, because you're suddenly like life has become poetry for you. You know?
In the
So
end,
I mean, yeah.
why were your parents so lazy? They should have made more babies, because we need more men like you. On a lighter note, Farhan, you're too good to be true. You're very brave.
Please.
I actually wish आपके भाई और होते तो, but anyway, bad luck. Farhan, a way to go, and keep excelling, excel
Thank you.
entertainment, keep excelling and keep making movies, and just be happy and be fun, because lots of people learn from you.
Oh, thank you so much.